Hey, I'm Todd Auten from Lake Wylie, South Carolina. Ed Watkins Marine in Denver, North Carolina. He's a fairly new dealer since 1998. I've run a Ranger longer than that. I've been on with Ranger since 98. Probably had one 2 or 3 years before that. I guess finishing second at the Classic this year. I mean, it just seems like I've had, I have 4 seconds in the Opens, and then I have a second at the Classic. By far that would be my greatest achievement. Right there, every time I missed it by 8 ounces one time, so it's always, if you can get in those big tournaments like the Classics and stuff, it seems like I do better with a smaller field. Running around and being able to do your pattern and not having a bunch of people doing the same thing. I grew up on Lake Wylie. I did. I used to live in North Carolina, Gastonia, and I lived there most of my life, and we fished Lake Wylie and Lake Norman. I guess so. Everybody from that area, Andy Montgomery's and Brian Thriss and all us, if you didn't know how to fish docks, you wasn't catching any fish. I mean, all the fish basically relate to that on them lakes a lot of times. Sometimes it's brush piles or something in front of the docks. If there's a dock there and a brush pile, you're going to fish both, because they're either on one or the other, like at Lake Norman. So it pays to know how to skip a jig or a chatterbait or something up under there, and it helps you on other tournaments, like coming here and stuff. So I know a lot of people don't like to do it because it's just aggravating. You get hung up on the docks and get your boat in there too close and get scratched up or something, but I really enjoy it and it's fun. I usually approach one from the back and I work my way out. Do that several times a day, you'll figure out, okay, they're on the backs or are they on the fronts. But like this time of year, a lot of fish will suspend out on the fronts. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of boring, laid back. Laid back was probably a better one, but a lot of guys, once they get to know me, I mean, we cut up and have a good time, but I guess it's just getting to know me, and then, then I'm good. I'm a little quiet sometimes. Yeah, Rob Dye and Shane Lineberger, we all room together, and we always get groceries and cook our meals every night, and we don't hardly ever go out and eat a meal. So, it works out good. It costs you about $50 all week to eat. The food's really good. Rob can cook real good. I ain't too bad on the grill, so both of us together, we cook pretty good. Now Shane, he's the dishwasher since he can't cook. To grill, well, of course, steaks, ribeye steak is my favorite. Now, we bring a cooker, a grill, we bring a deep fryer. And the deep fryer, I'm usually in charge of, so if we get some striper or something, flounder, anything, we bring fish with us, and we'll fry fish most of the time, and at least once or twice a week. And then we'll have steak, hamburgers. We eat some deer burgers last night. We eat Brussels sprouts, we eat cauliflower, broccoli, all them vegetables. We love them. What I do in the fall, like right after this tournament's over, I'm going home and going to Lake Murray or Wateree, and we'll catch stripers. I'll literally fill the freezer up, in a few weeks. You can keep like 10 apiece on Wateree, and you go down there, you do that 3 or 4 times in a week, and a few weeks, you got a freezer full, and it'll last you the whole year, usually. Well, I'd say get your education first. That would be the biggest tip. I mean, I had a career in, auto mechanics. I did it 18 years and worked my way into fishing. So fishing's hard just to jump into and be an elite guy or whatever. Even the Opens is kind of, it's a good starting point for people so they can go in there, and it's not terribly expensive, but most guys can't get off 2 weeks or 1 week a year. But when you got 4 tournaments, so you have to get time off, and it makes it a little harder for these guys working a job. But the young guys coming up, I just say get your education first and make sure you have something to fall back on, because fishing ain't that easy. And you know, I've been doing it a long time, and I'm just now getting to the point where I'm making a little money. I feel like, you know, my work, they give me the ultimatum of staying, because I was taking so much time off. You know, I fished for a while, fished FLW Tour and Bass Tour before the elites. I fished both circuits 2 years, and that really took a toll on my work. And I'd be gone, I'd come in, I'd have to pay them money on my insurance because they took out for insurance every week, you know, and we work commission, so I wasn't there to work. So I'd end up paying them some months for insurance, which was kind of weird. But I never did really quit until they gave me the ultimatum and said, you know, you're gonna have to make a decision. We need you here at work. We need you here all the time, or you go fishing. So I said, well, I guess it's time for me to turn full pro and go. And by then I had a little money saved up, so I was doing good at the time. So I said, shoot, I can make more money fishing, you know. But you know how it is. You got to have something to fall back on to. If you got a dad or something, somebody, you know, because it's tough. My next goal would be to win a Bassmaster event. I mean, that's kind of been under my skin for a long time. I don't care if it's an open, it's an elite, it's a classic, anything, but you know, a classic would be great. But I think about, you know, I had the closest chances I'll get this year at the classic, you know, with the second place and everything. But you never know. Ray Roberts, you know, is coming up, and I've never been there, don't know nothing much about it except for it's got a lot of timber. Somebody with an open mind coming in there might do good, you know, if I can learn how to run around. You know, I guess since, you know, my dad used to take me fishing when I was little and all, and he would always catfish, and I wanted to bass fish. For some reason, I'd watch Bassmaster Sundays, you know, Bob Cobb. You know, it was just something about that, just kind of, you know, that's something I can do. You know, I can be good at that, you know. And I'd go fishing little ponds around the house, you know, whatever. My dad would go to the lake, catfish, and I'd bring a lure, spinnerbait usually, and just cast it around and catch a few fish doing that. And, you know, it just grew into, you know, like club fishing. Got in a club, got a boat. I think I had a boat before I had a car, so I had to get people to pull me around, you know. But it was fun, you know, growing up in that atmosphere. I love to fish, you know. I like to hunt too, but fishing was definitely a priority. And I felt like I was always either lucky or I was good at it, or something was going on, because I felt like, you know, just had a knack for it. I just stuck with it and always enjoyed it. But I do like, you know, I like to fun fish, and usually I go striper fishing. But, you know, everybody loves to catch big bass, but it seems like it's a lot harder than it used to be, you know, in these lakes. They got a lot more pressure. I just wished we had some fresh lakes, some new lakes coming along, you know, every year. But it seems like property's getting smaller, and you know, people don't want to give up their land or whatever. But we need more lakes, I think, and get more kids out fishing, like me.